What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 684 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo. We got a fun show here for you. Talk some Sixers season opener. The game just wrapped up. We're going to talk some Fly Guys and what the heck is wrong with the team. Why does it look like they're struggling so much? We'll preview Week 8 of the NFL and talk some Birds as they get set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals and look for their first win in Cincinnati of all time. And then I got a little teaser at the end of the episode that by the time this episode's out, you guys will already know what's going on, but I'm excited to share it with the podcast listeners as well. So before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. Just search Underground Sports Philadelphia as well if it's easier for you to find us on your social media app of choice. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311 and on Instagram and Threads at KBIZZLE11. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast in audio form. Leave a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow. Lets us do more dope stuff with and for you guys, just like I'll be talking about at the end of the episode that I got to do this week. So definitely subscribe. It really does help us out. And leave those 5-star reviews. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. We're on that road to 1,000 subscribers, counting it down the old school Pokemon Kanto Dex way. On Twitter, we're tweeting out a picture of every single Pokemon as we knock them off the Pokedex in reverse order. So keep subscribing. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. And, of course, click that bell icon so you know when new videos go live. And, of course, guys, this show is presented by the City of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. Let's get into it. And off the top, too, for all you Sixers fans, all you Flyers fans, and any Philly sports fans, leave us a voicemail. Voicemail line is linked in the description. It's speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave us a voicemail during, before, after, whatever it may be, a game, during the week, when a thought comes to mind. Leave us a voicemail. They will be featured on the pod. If you want to get in the mix, have me react to your thoughts, leave me a voicemail. Speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. Let's get into the Sixers, their home opener. I just finished watching the game. And obviously, Joel Embiid and Paul George out for this game, so it's Tyrese Maxey and the crew trying to hold it down. And the Sixers, they get waxed. They get handled 124-109 against the Bucks. The biggest thing, the Sixers just weren't making shots early on in the game and allowed the Bucks to kind of build up and pull away pretty handily. You get a double-double from Andre Drummond, but Tyrese Maxey led the way with 25 points. Kelly Oubre had 21 points. Eric Gordon in 22 minutes had 2 points. That's not ideal for a guy coming off the bench and playing that many minutes. KJ Martin had 15 minutes of playtime, only scored 3 points. Caleb Martin had 12 points in 37 minutes, 12 points, 9 rebounds. You want to see a little bit more production from him and what we know he's accustomed to playing in Miami. Kyle Lowry played 24 minutes and scored 13 points. Ricky Council played 9 minutes, gave you 7. Gershon Yabusele, who I'm calling Yabu, he's awesome. I'm a huge fan. Played 26 minutes, gave you 10 points. He looks very promising. You know, if you don't know who Yabu is, he was playing for the French national team in the Olympics, was like their superstar next to Wemby. I'm very excited for what he can bring to this team, and hopefully we continue to see more of it. Jerry McCain and Adam Bona got into this game as well. You know, it was frustrating. The refs were, not that I want to blame the refs on opening night either, but the refs made some questionable calls. They held on to their whistles in certain aspects that you wish they would have blown the whistle. You know, the Sixers to stay in it for as long as they did without Embiid, without Paul George, you're without 2 of your 3 like superstars. And if they play, I think the Sixers win this game. And I'm not one of these people that are out here. There's people online and on the radio and all that BS complaining that Embiid and Paul George are missing the start to the season and it's a disgrace, this, that, and the third. Guys, I don't care that Joel Embiid is not playing in an October basketball game. Sure, does it not look great that Embiid and Paul George are not playing in your home opener, like optically from a marketing standpoint? Whatever. But at the end of the day, I'd rather Joel Embiid and Paul George be healthy when it really matters than trying to force them into these games early on in the season that hold no bearing on the long run. It's an 82-game season. Okay? We have an in-season tournament to win. Let's focus on the real things. I didn't understand the optics from a lot of people online about Embiid and Paul George not playing. Like, we knew Paul George wasn't going to play. He got injured in the preseason, and it looked like an injury that could have been way worse than it was. And are we really expecting the Sixers organization to be a transparent organization all of a sudden? Guys, we're talking about the same organization who had a general manager tweeting from a burner account, shout out Sixers Adam, about players on this team. And then when that was discovered, there were still people who were within the organization during that who stayed in the front office. We had the Sixers bring on a sponsor that sent myself and Matt into a true crime frenzy and wondering if we were going to have knocks on our door because we were doing so much digging about it. The Sixers have never been transparent in this era of Sixers basketball. Ever. We have clamored for them to be transparent. But guess what? It starts at the top. And when your ownership group is more worried about the Washington Commanders, the New Jersey Devils, and keeping Crystal Palace out of the relegation zone in the Premier League, the Sixers fall by the wayside in terms of them keeping it 100 with their fans. They don't care. They're not going to be transparent with you. And we just kind of have to accept that. It's unfortunate. It's not what you want as a fan, that your team isn't going to keep you in the loop with things that are going on. But for everyone online to just all of a sudden think the Sixers were going to be this open and transparent and easy to understand team, when has that ever been the case? When has that ever been the case? I digress. Joel Embiid's not going to play for the first couple of games. I'm fine with that. Let him work into this offseason program that they've had for him to get ramped up. and play it as you go. I'd rather him be healthy at the end of the day. Joel Embiid's health as a player and as a person matter more to me as a fan of the Sixers than anything else. So, I'm not all that mad that Joel Embiid missed this game. What I take away from this, Tyrese Maxey, he's him. 25 points in this game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Do you want to see some shots fall a little bit more from him? Absolutely. But it's game one. He looked great. Yabu was a bright sign for me early go. Kelly Oubre still looks pretty awesome, and I'm glad he's here. Andre Drummond is a rebound machine. I'm happy he's back. And, you gotta fight through the Embiid-less, stretch right now. And I think a lot of people would rather Embiid be out now. If you did an anonymous poll early on in the season, off season, would you rather Joel Embiid be out to start the year but be healthy the rest of the go, be healthy for the playoffs, or would you rather Joel Embiid sustain the injury and have to go through this in January, February, March, and then the playoffs, he's trying to ramp back up and he's still not 100%. I think everybody and their mother would sign up for what's going on right now. Okay? We just got to hope Joel gets healthy. That's all it is. Everyone's got to relax. Nice little stretch here. You get the home opener done, and you go on the road now. They play the Raptors next in Toronto. Then they go to Indiana to take on the Pacers on Sunday. And then you come back home Wednesday to play the Pistons at home, the Tobias Harris return game, the B-Ball Paul return game. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not mad about Joel Embiid missing games against the Bucks, Raptors, and Pacers to start the season. It's not that serious, everyone. It's not that serious in terms of getting worked up and creating think pieces about this whole thing. Like, it's really not that serious to be going all crazy about. Before I keep going and put a bow on the Sixers, I want to talk to you guys about our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. You want to look great and stand out in the crowd at the Wells Fargo Center, whether you're going to a Sixers game, a Flyers game, going down to the link to watch the Birds, getting ready for a Wings game at the Wells Fargo Center, or gear up, get some Phillies gear for next season, get some Union gear for next season, or rep Underground Sports Philadelphia, because our exclusive merch partners, PHI Apparel Company, have you covered. Click the link in the description or go to phiapparel.co, and when you go to checkout, use code UNDERGROUND. You get 10% off your next merch order. That's code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your next order from our friends at PHI Apparel Company. phiapparel.co is the link, or it's linked in the description. Click that bad boy and go get your merch. And when you get your merch, tag us in it. We'll repost it. We'll share it all over the place. phiapparel.co, code underground, 10% off your next merch order. Also want to talk to you guys about our friends at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, only 120 calories, and just 8 grams of carbs. Kenwood Beer is available in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, New Jersey, and Delaware, so you can take in the Sixers, the Flyers, the Eagles, the Phillies, the Union, and, of course, those Delaware Bluecoats. You can also take them in with an ice cold Kenny in hand. Go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in those markets, or get it at your local liquor store in those markets as well. Must be 21 or older to do so, and of course, please drink responsibly. I mean, look, when it comes to the Sixers, it's game 1 of 82. I genuinely don't. I know the hype around the Sixers is there because Paul George, because Embiid and Maxey all together, and you want to feel good about something. The Phillies die out early, and now you're trying to cling to something. We as Sixers fans have never gotten hyped up about October basketball the way it felt like online was. Like, I know there's always hype for a home opener, a season opener, and everything. But, like, the fact that it felt like everyone is coming into this season with, we have the best team in the NBA type vibes. I don't know what this team's going to be. Like, I genuinely, like, have not, like, I'll watch every home opener. I'll watch every season opener for the Sixers. And basketball, it's just kind of there. And then Christmas rolls around, and then that's when I kind of start, like, paying attention. Now, the in-season tournament, I'm going to be locked in for because I think it's a great concept. I think it's smart by the NBA to do that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing the Sixers court for that, and the Sixers inevitably winning the Emirates Cup. But it's one game, guys. It's one game. Just relax, stay calm, collected, cool. Calm yourself. It's going to be all right. The Sixers are going to be okay. When Embiid and Paul George are back, this team's going to look a whole hell of a lot different. A bunch of the guys that played tonight are not going to be in the usual rotation for Nick Nurse, so it's nothing to get all worked up about. Take a time out, relax, take a deep breath. Sixers are going to be okay. All right? It's going to be all right. Now, let's talk about the team on my hat. And when I talk about my hat, I mean 47 brand. That's right. Our friends at 47 brand, proud partners of Underground Sports Philadelphia. 47 brand, you are getting the most quality product in terms of headwear, apparel in the game, and you're going to be able to rep your favorite teams, your favorite leagues at any given moment. This awesome Flyers hat right here, I'm putting it up on the camera for everyone watching on YouTube. Flyers, 2-time Stanley Cup champions. I wasn't even alive when those Stanley Cup championships happened. But it's a cool hat. It's a dope hat. And, like, that's the cool thing with 47 brand. They are creating headwear and apparel that not only represents your favorite sports teams, but it fits into the pop culture zeitgeist, and it completes an outfit. I am of the belief that a hat can completely make or break an outfit, and 47 brand has always been there for me. They are my go-to hat brand, even before they got on board with us as partners. So shop for your favorite sports fan with our friends at 47 brand. Use our link in the description to get free shipping on all orders from our friends at 47 brand. That's free shipping on all orders when you use our link with our friends at 47 brand. The Flyers. They also played tonight. They also lost tonight. It has not been fun since that opening game. They have now lost 5 in a row. Is it 5? Is math hard? 1, 2, 3, 4. They've lost 6 in a row. Sorry. And one of them was an overtime loss. So 5 of their last 6 in regulation have been losses. And there's a lot on this team that we have to remember that this is a rebuild. This is year 1, like the official year 1. I said this on the last episode. Last year was year 0 of the rebuild. This is year 1. This is official first year. It's going to have its rough patches. It's going to have its moments where we're going to want to pull our hair out of our heads because we came into the season with such high expectations because you had these young blue chip players coming in like Michkov, like Jet Luchenko, and having this youth movement on the team while still having veteran favorites in Scott Lawton and Travis Konechny and Owen Tippett, who's still young in his own right. It's always going to be a difficult run with this team this year. It's not going to be sunshine and rainbows and you know, dancing through flower fields with this team. There's going to be a lot of grueling stretches with this Flyers team, and I think we have to realize that. I know it's optimistic October. We're still feeling okay about the team and where things are going, and you've played some teams that, you know, you would have hoped the Flyers would have been able to beat, but now you get a little bit of a rest. You play again on Saturday after the back-to-back. You're at home on Saturday against the Minnesota Wild, then you're at home on Sunday against the Montreal Canadiens at 7 p.m., and then you're on the road against the Bruins, and then at home Halloween night against the Blues. just take it game by game. Take the positives from players. We saw them fight back in that game. They were down 4-1 or 4-0 at one point against the Capitals. Let me pull up the thing here. Yeah, you were down 1-0 at the end of the first. Then at the end of the second, it's 4-2. It's 4-3. You got it to, and the Capitals scored 2 more goals, and it's 6-3. But it's going to be one of those things where, some of these guys probably shouldn't be on the Flyers roster. Igor Zamula has not been great at all for pretty much this entire season. There's a lot of questions around Ivan Fedotov and whether or not he can be an actual goalie. And there's going to be questions about this team. That's what happens when you're rebuilding. That you get a lot of questions about the direction of the team because you're trying to figure out what this team wants to do. You're trying to figure out what their identity is going to be. And when you don't know an answer right away as a sports fan, you get concerned. You don't know what to expect from the organization when it comes to those types of moves, when it comes to what the inevitable future of the team is going to look like, and what you're supposed to kind of expect as this season progresses. What is this season going to be about? What are the motives of the team, of the front office, and everyone involved for this year? It's going to be growing pains. It's going to be a lot on the plates of the players, of John Tortorella, of Danny Briere, of Keith Jones. It's going to be a long season, and there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road, okay? There's going to be a lot of questionable decisions that players make, that coaches make, that the front office makes. But we just have to remember that this is year one of a hopeful, long-sustaining rebuild. And that's kind of just what it is with this Flyers team. It's not going to be a team that is competing for a Stanley Cup, in my opinion. It's a team that is going to be hopeful to make the playoffs and push together and grow together. But at the end of the day, I don't think this is a full-blown Stanley Cup competing roster. They overachieved in a lot of aspects last year, and we're going to see what it becomes this year. So at the end of the day, just take it with a grain of salt. Breathe, just like we were doing with the Sixers. Just breathe. Enjoy the fun parts. Enjoy Michkov. Enjoy the development of a lot of these young guys. Enjoy Travis Konechny. Enjoy what is to come with this team. And whatever happens, happens. That's what it is with the Flyers. So I'm not panicking. I'm annoyed with some things that are going on. But at the end of the day, you got to remember and tell yourself, it's year one of the rebuild. It's year one of the rebuild. It's year one of the rebuild. That's all there is to it.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
All right, big thank you to the City of Vineland, again, the presenting sponsor of the program. But let's get into it. It is Week 8 in the NFL, and guys, do I have the place for you to make sure you're taking in the NFL the best way possible, especially these next couple of weeks for our Philadelphia Eagles. The NFL on CBS, which means the NFL is on Paramount Plus. That's right, Paramount Plus. Guys, The Eagles are going to be available on the schedule this week on Paramount Plus. They are playing on CBS, and you can stream the NFL all season long on CBS with live on Paramount Plus. Check out the NFL on CBS schedule for Week 8 and review your local listings for the games in your area. Don't miss a snap. 1 p.m. slate. It's Eagles at Bengals, Ravens at Browns, Jets at Patriots, Colts at Texans, and then at 4:25 Eastern Time, we got Bears at Commanders, Chiefs at Raiders, and the Panthers at the Broncos. Stream the NFL on CBS and watch your local game live on Paramount Plus. Try it for free or click the link in our description of the podcast and sign up for Paramount Plus. Stream all your favorite NFL games. Stream Premier League, Carabao Cup going on right now, Champions League going on Paramount Plus, plus a whole bunch of shows, movies in their catalog that are priceless. The new season of Ink Master now on Paramount Plus. Whole lot of stuff going on Paramount Plus. They are the place to do it. Stream Week 8 of the NFL on CBS Live on Paramount Plus. Click the link in our description to sign up or try it for free with our friends at Paramount Plus. Also want to talk to you guys about our friends over at FOCO, the leaders in forever collectibles. FOCO, guys, you've seen me wearing the overalls, the short talls for the Phils. They've got them for the Eagles. They've got velour tracksuits for the Eagles. They've got their one-of-a-kind bobbleheads. They've got neon lights. The neon signs are going to be coming up in this studio pretty soon. I tell you that much. FOCO is the place to upgrade all of your collectibles, all of your apparel to be the number one fan in the game. We're proud to be partnered with FOCO. They are truly the best. So click the link in the description and upgrade your fandom with our friends over at FOCO. Gear up for the Birds, the Sixers, the Flyers, or your favorite sports team, whatever it may be. Click the link in the description and do yourself a favor. Elevate with FOCO. We thank FOCO for being proud partners of Underground Sports Philadelphia. We go into this week against the Bengals, and the Eagles are 0-4-1 all-time in Cincinnati. They've never beaten the Bengals in Cincinnati, and the Bengals are not the team of the past. They have a lot of flaws. They have a lot of spots that the Eagles can expose them in, and I think if the Eagles are smart, they will approach this game very similarly to the way they did against the Giants. They will keep it simple, take care of the football, run the ball until the Bengals say, hey, we're not going to let you run the ball, which their defense is very beatable. And then the defense just has to show up and be able to create havoc for Joe Burrow. He's been under a lot of duress this season. And I'm excited for the Quinyon Mitchell versus Jamar Chase matchup. I'll tell you that much. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Those two going at it. You know, Jamar Chase is a young veteran. He is a superstar in this league, and Quinyon Mitchell has done a fantastic job in his early NFL career of going toe-to-toe with some of the best wide receivers in the NFL. So I'm super excited for that matchup. And I think, you know, the approach we have to this game is this is a game that you need to have if you're the Eagles. This is a game that, you know, the Commanders are going into a game against the Bears where they're not going to have Jaden Daniels potentially. The Cowboys are coming off a bye, and I don't even know who they play because they're that irrelevant to my zeitgeist. And then you just beat the Giants last week, and that shouldn't be a team that worries you too much, but you never know, obviously. So the Cowboys this week are playing the 49ers on Sunday Night Football. That's going to be a shit show of a game. And then the Giants are playing the Steelers on Monday Night Football. So you have a chance to really, in the early go of this game, assert yourself in the division and tie yourselves up with the Commanders. And if the Commanders aren't going to have Jaden Daniels available against the Bears, that's a huge, you know, knock against them to where the Bears could beat them, and then the Eagles take sole possession of first place in the NFC East. And then we're sitting here going into a Jaguars game next week on Paramount Plus, a winnable game again, and the Commanders, after this Bears game, have the Giants. So it's a way for you to kind of get a leg up, and it's going to be a fascinating week in the NFL. You look around the schedule of games this week as well, including our Eagles and Bengals game, which I'll touch on a little bit more before we wrap up here. But, Vikings, Rams, Thursday Night Football, Packers, Jaguars in Jacksonville, Cardinals, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots, Ravens, Browns, Eagles, Bengals, Colts, Texans, Titans, Lions, Falcons, Buccaneers, Saints, Chargers, Bills, Seahawks, Bears, Commanders, Chiefs, Raiders, Panthers, Broncos, Cowboys, 49ers, Giants, Steelers. This is a week where the Eagles can really showcase, hey, we're one of those big bad teams. We're here, those couple losses we took were a little bit fluky, and we're here to say, hey, we ain't going anywhere anytime soon. And I've talked about it for weeks now. This next quadrant of games, and it started last week against the Giants. That whole quadrant here. I'm sorry, it started against the Browns, really. It's the Browns, the Giants, the Bengals, the Jaguars, the Cowboys. Those were the games that were going to really tell us all we need to know about the Eagles. And it's not to say it was going to tell us if they were a losing football team, a good football team. It's going to tell us everything we need to know for the rest of the season about this football team. And that is where we're at with the team right now. They're 4-2. They're coming off a dominant win against a team that they should have beaten. Everyone should be happy. Stop trying to make up false narratives about the team and say, oh, they didn't do enough. They did exactly what they had to do, so shut the fuck up. I already went on a diatribe about that, and I'm still seeing people talk about it, and we're almost on to the next week of games. So just shut up, gear up for the Bengals. And when you look at this game, the Bengals they're a beatable team. They're 3-4. I think they're lucky to be 3-4. You look at the teams they played this year, they lost to the Patriots. They barely lost to the Chiefs. They lost to the Commanders in a all-out shootout game. They beat the Panthers. They lost in overtime to the Ravens, and then they beat the Giants, and then they beat the Browns by a touchdown. They could have easily lost that Browns game. They could have easily ended up losing that Giants game as well, and they could have easily won the Commanders game and won the Chiefs game and won the Ravens game. They are a very Jekyll and Hyde team. You don't know what you're going to get when you're playing the Cincinnati Bengals. And that's scary, but also fine because of the unpredictability. You can kind of just play your game and kind of go in attacking their strengths and exposing their weaknesses. And that's what the Eagles have to do. Run the ball with Saquon Barkley, keep things simple in the passing game, find A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith on their routes against a very subpar defense, and just take it to this team. They are a beatable football team. I would be stunned if the Eagles don't get their first win in Cincinnati this weekend. Do it for me. It's going into my birthday week. Let's get a dub. Let's start my birthday week off on the right foot. Philadelphia Eagles. Let's do this right. Saquon Barkley wins NFC Offensive Player of the Week this week. He also rang the bell at the Sixers game tonight. The vibes around this team are good. Nick Sirianni had a week where no one's talking about him anymore. No one's talking about Nick. No one's talking about him. I genuinely think this is a game that can be a statement win for the Eagles. While the Bengals are underachieving, they're still very talented on the offensive side of the ball, and it's the defense that you need to expose. You need to be able to run all over them. You need to be able to hit your passing game and just take it to a team that is inferior to you. Take it to an inferior team at the end of the day. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be must-see TV. Two of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL going at it. Two of the best quarterbacks, in the NFL. I think Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts are both top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. And we'll see who comes up and shows up to play. I think this week is going to prove a lot to us as Eagles fans and what we can take away from this team. And I think we should be excited about this game, especially coming off a win against the Giants, a team that the Bengals beat. barely. They beat them 17-7. We beat them 28-3. Do what works for you. Don't make things overly difficult if you're the Eagles. Just stick to the game plan. Keep it simple. Take care of the football. And run the damn ball. That's all you got to do. But I'm excited for this game. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think there's going to be a lot of fireworks with it. And hopefully the Birds are coming away with a win. And you guys are calling in to the voicemail line during and after the game with your thoughts, your takeaways, and I'll react to every single one of them. Speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave us a voicemail for your Eagles reactions, your Eagles takes from this game on Sunday coming up, and I will react to every single voicemail on the pod as a whole segment on our Monday shows. So leave me a voicemail. Speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's also linked in the description of the podcast. So yeah, leave me a voicemail. Go Birds. Last bit here that I want to tease for everybody. By the time you're listening to this, it will have already happened. But on Thursday, I am heading out to the Wells Fargo Center as I was invited to Philadelphia Wings Team Media Day. And got to do a bunch of sit-down interviews. We have a bunch of sit-down interviews with 7 Philadelphia Wings players. I believe it's 7. We are going to have interviews with Brendan O'Neill, the number 1 overall pick in the NLL draft, the number 1 overall pick in the PLL draft, a generational talent. And as I like to refer to him to everybody to kind of get acclimated with him, he is the Bryce Harper of lacrosse. We're going to have a sit-down interview with Mitch Jones, with Blaze Reardon, with Connor Sellers, Nick Damude, Phil Caputo, Tony Malcolm, and is that it? Brennan, Tony Malcolm, Mitch Jones, Damude, Blaze. Yeah, so those 7. Super thankful to the Philadelphia Wings, Lauren Caranda, the whole crew over at the Wings organization. They have been in our corner as a company since year 1, day 1. And to afford us this opportunity is awesome. It just shows we're doing things right in the media space. They trust us as an outlet to come in on their team media day and conduct interviews and get content for you guys as listeners. So we will have features from a couple of these interviews on Monday's episode. We will have features. And on this week's episode of the Outside the Box podcast, we will also have some of these interviews coming out. I'm very excited for you guys to see them. We did a lot of awesome work, got a lot of great answers from these guys, and I genuinely urge everyone to get out to a Wings game this year. This team is going to be absolutely electric. The price of admission is pennies on the dollar compared to the level of entertainment and the level of talent you're going to witness on the floor. I'm pumped. We have a lot of things in the works with the Wings, and it's just got me over the moon excited. So definitely stay tuned for those interviews. Monday, we'll have some of them on this show. This week on OTB, we'll have some of them, and they'll continue rolling out as well. Super pumped and thankful to the Wings organization for allowing us to come out to Media Day. And it's another thing that, it's because of you guys that listen. It's because of you guys who consume our content that we're able to do it. So you guys are the best. And, of course, if you want more dope stuff like that to keep on happening, follow us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, the whole 9 yards. We're on every social media platform. You can follow me on Twitter at KBICCL311 and on Instagram and Threads at KBICCLE11. You can also follow me on TikTok at KB Underground. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple and Spotify. I'll say it one more time for good measure because 3 times the charm. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple and Spotify. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. It goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow. Helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia and our entire catalog of podcasts. And be sure to subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. We have a card opening live stream coming to you maybe this weekend. Some PLL cards. Myself, Deej, and Hoots all got boxes, so we're going to be opening those bad boys, so stay tuned for that. That'll be on the YouTube channel for sure. And, of course, guys, leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and ring that bell icon so you know when new videos go live. And, of course, this show is presented by the City of Vineland, and whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you are considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 684 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully we're talking about an Eagles win, some Sixers wins, hopefully a Flyers wins. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I'm signing off. Peace.